An 8-year-old boy meets his guru and goes to jungles and gets enlightened. This is a story of my Sadguru Shri Shri 1008 Yogi Raj Mahamandaleshwar Swami Mohandas Ji Maharaj. Swami Ji used to study in school. One day after the school was over, Swamiji saw that many men, women, and children of his own age were on their way to see the fair at Sri Bharat Das Ji's ashram in Torda village. Swamiji just couldn't resist the idea of visiting saints and going to the fair. And so, with the idea of having a darshan of Shri Bharat Das Ji and to see the Mela, Swamiji came to the ashram of Shri Bharat Das Ji. At the fair, Shri Bharat Das Ji's disciple, Shri Dhiram Das Ji, was singing kirtans. After the kirtan was over, Swamiji met Shri Dhiram Das Ji. Swamiji was so impressed with the kirtan that he decided to stay in the ashram itself. And from that day on, Swamiji was immersed day and night in singing bhajans. Upon Guru Maharaj's instructions, Swamiji started looking after the job of tending the cows at the ashram. So some time went on. Sri Dhiram Das Ji's behavior was extremely stubborn and rigid. One day, Sri Swamiji got very frustrated with this stubborn and rigid behavior. So he went away into the jungle. Along with him, he took a shepherd by name Shri Bhavarlal Gujar. Swamiji's age was around 8 years at this time, but while going into the forest, Swamiji had taken along with him the book of Ramayana. When Swamiji reached the jungles, he installed the picture of Sri Ram Darbar from the Ramayana book in the form of a temple. There was so much fear in that area about tigers that a stray person would close the doors and stack huge stones in front of it. Even if somebody was going to sneeze, he would stuff a piece of cloth in the mouth so that the sneezing sound would not be heard by a prowling tiger or any other dangerous animal, and give a hint to the animal that a person was there in surroundings. In such a ferocious jungle, Swamiji passed 2 months praying to God. Finally, one day, Bhavarlal Gujar got terrified with the atmosphere of the jungle and he fled away. He left the company of Shri Swamiji and just ran away. The same day his friend left him, around 1 a.m. in the night, Swamiji felt thirsty. About 10 yards from where Swamiji was staying, there was a pond filled with water. Swamiji went to fetch water from the pond with a kamandal. Kamandal is a small vessel in the shape of lotus with a spout made out of copper or bronze in his hand. It was night time. The breeze from the trees was creating an eerie sound. Moonlight spilled all over the place. When Swamiji started to get up after drinking water from the pond, he felt the touch of a soft material. Thinking it to be a snake, Swamiji tried to shake it off, but instead he himself fell back. When he looked upwards, he saw a lion sitting there. The tail of the lion was dangling down. Seeing the lion, he sprang and stood up. The ground appeared yellowish in front of him out of fear. Looking at the lion eye to eye, slowly he walked backwards and reached the shikarkhana, the hunting home. Both the eyes of the lion were burning brightly like the light from a lamp. Though Swamiji looked straight into the eyes of the lion, the fear had not gone. Swamiji opened the door of the home and went in. After entering the home, Swamiji thought that the lion had seen him and was sure to attack him. It was not possible to escape if he stayed inside. So he thought, if he could go outside, and even if the lion attacked him, he could save his life by climbing a tree or hiding in the caves in the mountain. As this thought came to Swamiji, he opened the doors and came outside. His body was trembling with fear. Different thoughts came up in his mind about the lion. At the same time, many stories which he had heard from Guru Maharaj flashed in Swamiji's mind. Shri Guru Maharaj often used to tell the story that God would sometimes appear in the form of a lion also. As soon as this thought came into his mind, the fear about the lion started fading away from him. Now Swamiji's heart started saying, if you are a lion, come and eat me. And if you are truly God, then appear before me and bless me. Then another thought came into his mind that what if it's really a lion? It would come and bite him, and that would be very painful for him. The very idea of the lion biting him made his hairs stand up, and he started feeling as if the lion was actually biting him. Within moments, the lion appeared, snarled at him, and started roaring. Swamiji's hands and feet became stiff with fear, and his body became numb. The lion looked towards Swamiji and jumped at him. At this point, Swamiji became unconscious. After a little while, when he regained consciousness, Swamiji did not see the lion. With the disappearance of the lion, the fear inside Swamiji disappeared. Then Swamiji felt that that was not a lion, but it was God himself who had appeared. He felt that he had missed a great opportunity. He thought if he had fallen at the feet of the lion, who knows what would have resulted. After this incident, Swamiji came out of the home into the open jungle, crying, and started calling out to the lion loudly and spoke, "Why did you frighten me?" Now, whenever Swamiji saw any animal, be it a lion, cheetah, jackal, or a cow, he would run behind it and swearing upon it, it would tell, if you are a Hindu, upon the cow's name. If you are a Muslim, upon the pig's name. Stop. By now, all the fear had left Swamiji. Now he was able to stand among 4 to 5 lions. He used to tell himself, Mohandas, there is nothing called fear. It's all an illusion created by God. You have wasted a big opportunity. If you had fallen at lion's feet, who knows what could have turned up? In this manner, wandering, roaming, and searching in the jungle, 10 days passed by. Accidentally one day, Swamiji met 2 Rajput leaders, whose names were Shri Bachan Singh of Gadi and Shri Ramdas Singh of Buchara. Seeing the strange condition in which Swamiji was, they said, Baba, you will not meet God just by running like this. Very nearby, there is a Bhairo Kyara cave where invisible Mahatma lives. You should go there. Only there can your wish be fulfilled. Swamiji replied that he did not know that place and requested them to take him to that place. The 2 leaders led the way and took Swamiji up to the cave. After reaching the cave, Swamiji requested them once again. He said, you 2 have led me up to this cave. Please do me one more favor. After I enter the cave, can you close the entrance of the cave with big boulders so that at a later stage, even if I wish to, I will not be able to come out? At that time, Swamiji felt very sad that he could not meet the Mahatma. He made a strong vow And the vow was that he would not eat anything until he met the Mahatma. When the two leaders were closing the cave entrance with boulders, they told Swamiji, Baba, we have a vessel with us. We will fill water in it and keep it with you. In case you need it, it'll come in handy. For that, Swamiji's reply was, if I drink water, I will survive. When the two leaders were about to go away after closing the cave entrance, Swamiji told them to come back exactly after 21 days and retrieve him from the cave. Swamiji thought that after 21 days, he would either be living here or gone off to his heavenly abode. As per the wishes of Swamiji, the two leaders piled up some shrubs outside the cave, lit the pile, and went away. It was just a few moments after they had left when Swamiji got frightened with the terrible atmosphere inside the cave. He tried to move the boulders covering the entrance. Within him, he was questioning, what is the necessity to die in this manner? When the boulders didn't budge, Swamiji started shouting at the two leaders to pull him out. But the two Rajput leaders had gone far away by then. Swamiji kept on calling and pleading, but who was there to listen to his pleas? In this way, while he was crying and weeping, the sun had set. Around 9 o'clock during the first phase of night, that smoke from outside started entering the cave. Inside the cave, there were many beehives. The bees started buzzing and flying around inside the cave and started stinging Swamiji's body. Unable to bear the pain, Swamiji became unconscious. Nobody knew when the bees stopped stinging Swamiji's body and after how many days Swamiji regained consciousness. Upon regaining consciousness, Swamiji felt that his teeth were stuck and his hands and legs had become numb. Ants and other insects were crawling all over his body. Though Swamiji could not feel anything, he was able to see everything. When he was thinking about his present condition, suddenly Swamiji saw the figure of a 5 to 6-year-old boy. The boy was in a Mahatma's attire. His matted hair was heavy, and his hands were a forceps and kamandal, lotus-shaped water can with a spout, and these forceps are called chimta. Just by the sight of the Mahatma, Swamiji felt bewildered as if the sun had risen just then and that he had spent only one night in the cave. He did not have any knowledge of how much time had passed by. When Swamiji closed his eyes for just a moment, he gathered that the enchanting image had housed itself in the temple of his heart. Suddenly, Mahatma Ji's melodious voice fell on Swamiji's ears, and the voice was saying, "Would you like to eat something? Will you drink something?" Swamiji only shook his head as if to say yes, because he seemed to have lost strength to speak. The Mahatma gave water to Swamiji from his kamandal. Oh, what a water! Its taste was something supernatural. It was a heavenly elixir. As soon as Swamiji drank that water, all his tiredness was gone. Hunger and thirst was gone. He experienced new energy and inspiration running through his body. Then the Mahatma gave Swamiji a pair of silver-studded sandals and a small tongs. Along with these, he blessed the Swamiji in this way: "You will not have lack of anything in your life. Go and serve at the feet of Mahatma Bharat Das. Know that I am Bharat Das." So saying, He disappeared then and there itself. On the other side, the two Rajput leaders, Shri Bachan Singh and Shri Ram Das Singh, came to the cave after 21 days. With doubts in their mind, the two called Swami Ji. They feared whether the Swami Ji was dead or alive. In reply, Swami Ji said, "I am alive. Remove the boulders and come into the cave." Both the Rajput leaders heaved a sigh of relief. With renewed enthusiasm, they removed the boulders from the entrance of the cave and entered in. When they saw the physical status of Swamiji, they were dumbstruck. The body was visibly very weak. They pleaded with Swamiji to return home. But Swamiji was so weak, he was only able to hear their voice. He was not in a state to move. In spite of Swamiji's condition, the two Rajput leaders brought him out of the cave and took him to their house during night time. For almost 20 days, they sheltered Swamiji at their house. When Swamiji started consuming milk, his body regained strength bit by bit. Then Swamiji sent word to his Guru Maharaj, Shri Shri 1008 Shri Bharat Das Ji Maharaj. Upon receiving the message, Guru Maharaj came running to him. Until now, Swamiji had not been initiated, but he had a strong dedication and belief in Guru Maharaj. As soon as Guru Maharaj arrived, Swamiji fell at his feet and with a boyish curiosity questioned, "Maharaj, how did you grow up so much, so fast within such a short period?" Guru Maharaj started laughing and then smiling he said, "I am as big as I was, but it appears that since you were trapped in the cave, your vision has been affected."